What happens when the camera itself starts interpreting reality before you ever touch a file? What if the next big trust problem in photography is not fake AI images? What if the real problem is the camera in your hands? Because much of the conversation surrounding AI has been pretty simple. Real photo over here, fake AI image over there, and our cameras equal the truth. But our computers equal manipulation. But I'm not so sure it's going to stay that clean. Modern cameras are no longer just boxes that capture light. They are computers. They recognize subjects. They track eyes. They sharpen detail. They correct lenses. They process color. They interpret the scene before you ever opened that file. And now we are entering a world where AI may not just help you edit the photo after the fact. It may help you create what the photo looks like at the moment you capture it. That should make every photographer pause. Because if your camera starts filling in detail, improving low light images, enhancing digital zoom, cleaning up texture, or making decisions about what should be there and what shouldn't, then we have to ask a serious but uncomfortable question. At what point are we capturing reality? Now, before you jump down to the comments to tell me a camera has never captured reality, this conversation is something that is going to be very different. Because as wildlife photographers, trust is everything. If people stop believing the photograph, they also stop believing the photographer.
But you're stronger than you know. You'll never be alone when everything feels dark around. Just look inside where light is found.
Welcome to the channel. I'm Jeff, and I'm a professional wildlife photographer living in Charleston, South Carolina. This is a place for photographers who want to learn to create better wildlife photos that are more compelling, more meaningful, and more emotional. Today, we are talking about something that I believe is going to become one of the biggest trust issues in photography over the next several years: AI inside of your camera. Now, I realize that many people are just tired of the AI conversation, but it's real. AI is not going away. Simply ignoring the topic doesn't prevent it from happening. We aren't talking about AI software. We aren't talking about generative AI images created from a text prompt. We aren't talking about fake wildlife photos made by someone sitting at their computer. We're talking about AI and deep learning technology being built into the camera pipeline itself. Because for a long time, photographers have relied on a very simple argument. This is real because I captured it with a camera. But what happens when that camera isn't just about capturing anymore? What happens when it's interpreting? What happens when it's enhancing? What happens when it's using AI to decide what the final image should look like? This is where the conversation starts to get a little bit more complicated. Because this isn't a discussion about anti-technology. I use a modern camera with autofocus and subject detection. I use editing software with noise reduction and AI masking tools. I'm not pretending or suggesting that photography should go backwards. But we can't deny there is a difference between tools that capture reality and tools that change it. Wildlife photography depends heavily on trust. The viewer trusts the animal was there. The viewer trusts the photographer was there. They trust the moment actually happened. They trust the behavior was real. They trust the scene was not fabricated. But as cameras become smarter, the line between capture and creation may become harder to see. For most of photography history, the camera had a special kind of authority. A photograph was never the perfect truth, of course. Photographers have always had to make certain choices: where to stand, which lens to use, which shutter speed to use, which aperture to use, what to include in the frame, how to expose, how to edit. So I'm not saying that photography was ever completely objective, because it wasn't. But even with all of those different choices, the camera still had a basic relationship with reality. Light from the scene entered the camera and it was recorded. The photography has a physical connection to something that actually existed in front of the lens. This is why photography has always carried a certain amount of weight. A painting can imagine, but a photograph is supposed to witness. This is something that makes photography powerful, especially wildlife photography. When someone sees a photograph of an osprey grabbing a fish out of the water, or a fox frolicking in the snow, or a bird feeding its young, part of the emotional power comes from the viewer knowing that really happened. The photographer was really there. The animal was really there. And that moment existed. But AI is putting pressure on that relationship. And until now, most of the concern has been about images created outside of the camera. Fake wildlife images, AI-generated animals, composite scenes, artificial backgrounds, manipulated photo contest entries. But the next question might be more subtle. What if the image comes from a real camera? Most cameras are not simple machines anymore. They are incredibly advanced computers built around a sensor. And to be clear, that has brought photographers a lot of benefits, right? Autofocus is better than ever. Subject detection can recognize birds, animals, people, eyes, faces, vehicles, insects, and much more depending on your system. Lens corrections can happen automatically. Color processing can be improved. Image stabilization is better. Computational photography has made camera phones much more capable. Even before AI became the headline, cameras were already doing a lot of interpretation. And most of the time, that interpretation is helpful. Nobody complains the camera corrected some lens distortion. Nobody panics because a JPEG engine added some contrast. Most people are glad their camera can find a bird's eye faster than they can manually focus. So the issue is not that camera processes images. They always have. The issue is that processing is becoming more intelligent, more invisible, and potentially more creative. That is where the trust question starts, because traditional processing usually adjusts what was captured, but AI-based processing can start predicting, reconstructing, enhancing, or even inventing details based on what it thinks should be there. This is a very different kind of problem. And the scary part is that it may not look fake. It may look better, cleaner, sharper, more detailed, more impressive. But those are the reasons why it might be dangerous. Here's the controversial part. The biggest threat may not be photographers intentionally faking photos. The threat might be photographers using tools they barely understand and unknowingly presenting the AI result as untouched reality. If a camera uses AI to improve low light detail, the photographer may not feel that they did anything wrong. If a camera uses digital zoom to make a distant subject clear, the photographer may feel like the camera simply performed better. Now, if a camera fills in texture, cleans up blur, or reconstructs detail, the photographer may not even really know where the capture ended and prediction began. And if the photographer doesn't know, the viewer definitely doesn't know. This is where trust can really start to break down, because the viewer won't be asking, was this made with AI? They will start asking how much of this was captured and how much of it was calculated. The photographer can honestly say, I took this photo. The animal was real. The scene was real. The moment was real. But the camera added detail that was not actually recorded. We now have a new category of image. It's not completely fake, but it's also not completely traditional. It's something in between. And that space in between is where a lot of future arguments are sure to happen. This matters for all photography, but it matters especially for wildlife photography, Because the foundation of wildlife photography has always been authenticity. If you photograph a bird in flight, people assume the bird was actually flying. If you photograph animal behavior, people assume the behavior happened. And if you photograph a rare species, people will assume you actually found that species. That trust is part of the value of the photo. It's not just about pixels, it's about the experience behind those pixels. The fact you were actually there when something happened. But if AI inside of cameras becomes more aggressive, well, wildlife photography could enter a really strange place. Imagine a distant bird, photographed with AI digital zoom. The camera enhances the detail. Suddenly the feathers look cleaner, the eye looks sharper, and the subject just looks more defined. But did the camera truly capture the detail, or did it infer some of it? Now, imagining this photo is shared online. People praise the detail. They ask what lens you used. They compare it to other photographers' work. Maybe it even gets entered into a photo contest. Maybe it influences what beginners think is possible or gives them an unrealistic perspective of what their photos should look like. This can be a problem because photographers could be competing not only against skill, patience, access, and equipment, they could be competing against invisible computational enhancements. And unless it is disclosed clearly, viewers may not know the difference. This is how trust erodes, not all at once, but slowly, quietly, one believable image at a time. Camera companies are in a tough position. They need to innovate. They need to sell new cameras. They need to compete with smartphones. And smartphones have trained millions of people to expect computational magic. Better night photos, cleaner images, sharper digital zoom, automatic HDR, portrait blur, instant enhancements. People are used to the device doing more work for them. So traditional camera companies are under pressure. If phones keep getting smarter, dedicated cameras may need to also become smarter too. And from a business perspective, sure, this makes sense. A camera that can give cleaner low-light images, better zoom, smarter autofocus, and more polished files is easier to market. But from an authenticity perspective, it gets messy because photography companies are not only selling image quality, they are selling trust. They are selling the idea that a machine captures the real world with more precision, more fidelity, and more honesty than a phone or AI generator. So what happens if the camera starts borrowing that same computational tricks that people are so worried about? This is a conflict. The camera industry may want AI to help photography survive, but too much hidden AI could make people trust photography less. And that once that trust is damaged, it's really hard to recover from it. Now, I know the obvious argument. Someone is likely to say, but Jeff, all photography is processed. Raw files are processed. JPEGs are processed. Lenses distort reality. Sensors interpret light. Film has chemical processing. Darkroom photographers manipulated images. This is nothing new. And that argument is partially true. Photography has never been pure reality. But that does not make every manipulation the same. There is a meaningful difference between correcting your exposure and inventing detail. There is a big difference between reducing noise and fabricating textures. If a camera makes a dark image cleaner, most people may not care. But if the camera enhances a distant animal in a way that changes what the species appears to be, or makes a behavior look clearer than it really was, or it adds texture that was not optically resolved, that can change the meaning of the photo. That is not just processing, that is interpretation. And once cameras start interpreting reality in a way viewers cannot see or understand, we have a problem. So yes, all photography involves processing, but not all processing carries the same ethical weight. Here is the part that I actually think is hopeful. As photography becomes easier to manipulate, honesty becomes more valuable. Photographers who are transparent about their process may earn more trust. Photographers who can explain what they did and did not do can stand out. Photographers who value fieldcraft, patience, real behavior, and ethical capture may become more important. Because when viewers become skeptical, they look for people they believe. That means your reputation matters, your process matters, your transparency matters. The worst thing photographers can do right now is act like none of this matters. It does matter. Maybe not to everyone, maybe not to every genre of photography, but in wildlife photography, nature photography, journalism, conservation, photo contests, and documentary work, truth still matters. So where do I personally draw the line? For me, the line is not whether technology was used. I mean, that would just be ridiculous. Every photographer uses technology. The line is whether the final image represents the reality of the scene. Was something added, removed, or fabricated that changes the entire meaning of the photograph? Did the edit or technology turn a bad photo that would have been rejected? Does it turn it into something impressive? I do not have a problem with photo editing. And while there can be some gray areas, I do have a problem when technology starts inventing better versions of moments that photographers try to claim they captured. That's a lie. That's a trust issue. If cameras start doing more of that automatically, photographers need to become more aware, because straight out of the camera may no longer mean what it used to mean. Is AI inside of cameras automatically bad? Well, no, I don't think so. AI autofocus can help us capture real moments. Subject detection can help us capture more compelling wildlife images. But this type of AI still requires skill from the photographer, right? The photographer still needs to have good anticipation and timing skills. While these types of AI features will, of course, improve a photographer's overall success, it by no means guarantees great photos. My fear is that these AI features that are going to be invisible, right? Those AI features, everything about a photo can be genuine, but the camera is quietly creating an invented version of your reality. That's a much more complicated problem. Perhaps camera companies will add these features, but maybe they'll give the photographer the option to turn them on or off. Of course, this won't eliminate those photographers that want to manipulate things or lie about things, right? They're sure to lie about using those features. But at least the photographers creating images will know their own truth. And we should care about the truth. What do you think? At what point is AI too much in a camera? And do you support cameras having more AI capabilities? Let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for a powerful photo editor, well, I highly recommend checking out DxO Photolab 9. This is the software I personally use and trust for all of my photo editing, especially because of its industry-leading noise reduction and their AI masking tools that make editing faster, more precise, and more consistent. Now, if you'd like to try it for yourself, use the link that I've provided in the description below. And if you decide you want to purchase it, be sure to use my code Magnolia at the time of checkout to save 15% off on your purchase. You can also download their 30-day free trial, test everything out for yourself firsthand with absolutely no restrictions. And if you really want to get the most out of Photolab, then you need to check out my Photolab mastery class at magnoliaphotographysc.com/store. Link in the show notes for that as well. But in this course, I teach you how to do everything, how to properly apply noise reduction and sharpening, and how to use those AI masking tools. This course also includes some free stuff as well, including my full preset collection for wildlife, portraits, nature, and landscapes. I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy lives to join me today. I deeply appreciate it. But before you head out, you might want to think about checking out this next video right here.